And welcome, it is Wes here, and today we're going to be doing If You're Not Talking With Them. It has been a while since I've last posted, so I do apologize for anybody that does enjoy watching my videos. There are a handful of you, so I do appreciate you. But again, I do apologize about the slow uploads, alright? It's just, you know, I've kind of given explanations before. It's just a lot going on between work and this college stuff and, you know, just other life responsibilities, all right? And these videos, unfortunately, do take a little bit of time to do. So trying to get a good day where there's peace and quiet and I'm in the right mood to do tarot is sometimes a little harder, at least during this time period. But I'm anticipating that in the, not the near future, but maybe towards the end of the year, things are going to change for my life in a good way, and that will hopefully improve the amount of time that I have to do tarot, right? But anyways, we are doing If You're Not Talking With Them. So this video is about an ex-partner, so if you don't have one, then I really don't know what to tell you. One suggestion would be to go and get one, then you can watch this video, all right? The timestamps, as always, are in the comments section for my videos, especially if you're new. You can always find them there. My name will be highlighted and pinned. Show more info and you'll see all the blue links to go to whatever zodiac sign you want to watch. I put those there for your convenience, so please use them. If you need to get a hold of me, I have an email address you can find in the description box of my videos if you want to shoot me some feedback, ask me a question, or you want a personal reading. All right? And finally, always remember, whether it's me reading the cards or somebody else on YouTube, that one tarot message can apply to every last person, all right? If you believe in the tarot or spirituality or the universe, a message will always come to you when it's your turn, all right? There's just some things that are not meant to be for certain people, so let's not force things to apply that don't make sense to your situation, all right? You'll know if it's you, all right? Typically, if you're not talking with them, tarot format is intended for somebody that you haven't really had contact with for 3 to 6 months, all right? But if you're going years back, then less likely this is gonna apply, all right? And again, I understand that some people may have interest in this type of video and others don't, but that's okay. I've got other videos that I'll be doing, and I think Spy on Them is the next video we'll be doing. So that's more of a general X video. Anyways, let's get this ball rolling. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep rolling, rolling. Alright, it was a great time period when Limp Bizkit was around. Those days have gone, unfortunately. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. It's your birthday. Alright, maybe it's someone's birthday today. Happy birthday, Aries. You are the first sign, pretty much always, so good for you. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm used to almost going last. Alright. Tell me about the person our Aries are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Aries know? The person our Aries are not talking to. It just says the sun. Tell us about the sun. Why is this person being described as the sun? So it says death reversed. What in the Lord is that saying? What does the sun mean for Aries? No, I can't ask that. What does the sun mean for Aries? All right, this is, you know what, we're going to come back to this, Aries. I don't know, I have no clue what this is suggesting right here in their description. We'll see what else comes out, and hopefully that'll illuminate for us what the hell this is talking about. Tell us about this person that's being described as the sun, clarified with death reversed. What are they thinking about in regards to Aries? What are they thinking about? So you have the lovers here, so passionate moments, most certainly, this person has in their mind. Another card just came out. It says the page here, but it's reversed. So this could have been an opportunity missed with you, this person's thinking about, or being rejected. All right. Given that we have the lovers here, the only thing that I can think of that's coming to mind right now is some type of reminiscing. The sun can be talking about positive things, happy times, when life is good. This death reverse can also talk about people holding on to things from the past that they haven't moved on from. So immediately, this is likely going to suggest Aries, a individual that is no longer participating with you, but perhaps would like to, right? However, this page here being in the reverse is potentially suggesting that there's a concern that maybe you won't be so welcoming to them like you used to be. Maybe instead of being half undressed, you'll be fully dressed at the door this time around. This person may be looking at that as a potential deal breaker. How does this person see Aries? Actually, we'll use the clarifier deck. The person that's not talking with Aries, how do they see Aries? So it says the Six of Pentacles reversed. This person may see you as somebody, well, you know, this won't apply to all of you, but it suggests that this person may the way that they're viewing you is that if they were to interact with you, Aries, they would get a sense that you may communicate in who knows what way that you feel like you get taken advantage of. Either that you're communicating that, or you're indirectly, just through how you talk, are giving some type of vibration to them that is suggesting that you're like, yeah, I've been shafted a lot in the past, people taking advantage of me. Maybe not ever, I'm not saying your family or anything, but maybe from a relationship standpoint. They may get the sense that you're a bit guarded and you're wary that somebody's going to come along and start dicking you around. Why this person has this impression of you, I don't know. In context to this, it probably does matter, because this person may feel that you're not as susceptible to just a straight romance or getting together, even if it's not really so much romance based, just even being more susceptible to be easygoing. They may feel you're a bit more guarded nowadays, all right? Could it be just to this person? Probably. Maybe that's just to this person, right? No ways for me to know. You know, I do also think that, you know, people change as time goes on. So perhaps, you know, even if there wasn't really a bad situation with this person, you know, people just don't act the same from their 20s and when they're in their 30s or their 40s. What is this person that's not talking with Aries? What do they think about from the past in relation to Aries? Says the Ten of Swords reversed. This person thinks about how it ended between the both of you. And they also wonder how over you are from this connection. Ten of Swords in the reverse is fairly positive because it does tell us if there was a kind of not so good ending between the both of you, or perhaps it could have ended in a better way, but it didn't. Always the question is, have those swords fell out? Is any bitterness remaining? You know, I don't care what anybody says. You know, when two people have been together and they separate, and in some way, shape, or form, there's always going to be typically at least one person that is a little bit more annoyed than the other. The question is, was it them or you? I don't know. But, you know, some people don't like having to be rejected or starting over or somebody walking away, whatever the case is. So even there doesn't need to be an explosive blowout. It's just there's like that passive kind of, yeah, you're passing on me, all right, well, you do you then, whatever. You know, so this person may view it that there's a little underlying tension here, but they're reflecting on the past in some ways. From their standpoint, I think they feel that whatever, if there was any type of tension between the both of you, or just kind of not much chemistry, they kind of feel like that is past. So there may be a new opportunity here. All right. And again, we got death reversed here in the description, so it's definitely suggesting somebody that's holding on to the past, evaluating the past, and also thinking about some type of chemistry. All right. I also kind of get a sense that in this person's thoughts, there is a lot of lustful thinking going on as well that's driving this. So while there may not be much of an emotional connection with you, Aries, it could just be their, I don't know, something about you that they haven't, you haven't been around for a while. They start thinking about you. You know, that's just how people are sometimes. You know, when it's like even for people that got sick of somebody, it's like if there's enough distance and space, sometimes that person will get fond of that other person again. But it just takes time. I'm just speculating though. Why is this person not talking with Aries? This person that's not talking with Aries, what is the reason? What can we know? Why are they not talking with Aries? Says the Seven of Wands. Here's my final thoughts on this reading, Aries. You have a person here overall that the tarot is suggesting may have, especially with the sun energy in the description, may have a different view of things right now. All right. The sun can also talk about being clouded, but no longer. You're now seeing things in a different way. Something that you didn't want before. Now you're seeing, hey, I didn't notice all these bells and whistles that Aries had on. You know, kind of want to hear them ding-a-ling again. Who knows? But this person seems to have a renewed interest in you. They are thinking about the past. They are carrying potentially, this can also tell us maybe some emotions from the past that are driving this. All right. But I think it's more of a lustful mindset this person has. All right. This person may be looking at best case scenarios in their thoughts, you being passionate and this and that. They may feel that there's time and space apart from you. All right. But the one catch here is three things. This person is evaluating from the past something that may have been a bit of a deal breaker. This energy normally divides people, so this person's questioning, I'm assuming, whether that is past. In other words, your whatever tension, if you had any, or the negative way of seeing them is past. But as I told you before, they kind of view you as a little bit potentially guarded, or you're wary, or you're speculative that people are there for the wrong reasons. Maybe you're cautious about being taken advantage of. This person may get the sense that you're not as approachable as maybe you once were. All right. Is it to everybody? No, probably not. But to this person, they may have the perspective that you would be to them. All right. Why they're not talking and saying Seven of Wands? So potentially this is coming back to this. This person may get the sense that you are a little bit more guarded towards them. So, which can be it's a challenge because it's like, it's, you know, how do you approach that, all right? This person does, this is the only thing I'm 50-50 on, because this is either telling us this person's thinking about just a rejection, that it wouldn't work out, like if they approach you, it's probably going to be a no, or it's not going to go anywhere, or they're thinking about an attempt they already did with you that didn't go anywhere, all right? I'm not, so I would think maybe it's more about rejection, but yeah, that's what I got for you, Aries. I don't know what this person's going to do. To me, this is the most positive thing driving this right now. I speculate that they may take another gander towards you. Alright, only because of that Lover's energy is quite powerful in the tarot. So, we will see. We shall see. If you want to meet me. I was trying to go somewhere with that, but I just couldn't think of anything. So, 16, 13. All right. Taurus. Tell me about a person our Taurus collective are not talking to. Who's this person? What can we know? What can I know? We've got 5 of Wands here. I don't know why that feels right. I split the deck on it, so we're going to take it. I mean, it's not like you have a choice. It's what I want. So we have 5 of Wands here. This may be a person, and I don't know why I'm getting this, but this reading feels like it could be something around tension, but let's clarify the 5 of Wands just for the sake of it. So it says Ace of Swords. This is a potential person that there may have been some type of difficulties around communication, Taurus. I don't want to over speculate on this because there's a lot of possibilities, but Ace of Swords can tell us about somebody that is trying to bring clarity or a new way of looking at things, or they're trying to prove a point, or they want you to see things in a certain way. 5 of Wands can be competitive, it can be struggle. So I'm thinking there's some degree that this person may have been somebody that was liked to make points, like to maybe even feel that they were right about a lot of things. This could have at times caused a little bit of tension, or I don't know, maybe you disagreed with certain things they would say. Tell us about this person that is not talking with Taurus. What are they thinking about towards Taurus? So it says the 7 of Swords reversed. We have this card that's like wanting to come out. Wow, we have 5 of Wands again. So we'll take that. So you got double 5 of Wands. Why does the Ace of Swords bother this person that's not talking with Taurus so much? What is the reason it's bothering them? It says Temperance, the balance. So you have a person here, Taurus, that feels in some ways, whoever this individual was feeling that in some ways there may have been some type of issue with the communication or understanding between the both of you. In other words, you may have had a perspective on how you viewed their behavior, or what they were trying to do, or how they were acting. All right? If you had a person that did not care, and they just walked away and didn't give you an explanation, and they showed very low interest, they're not showing up in this reading. I'm telling you that right now. All right. The reason I'm saying that is because this person seems bothered by whatever this was. In other words, they were trying to achieve some type of harmony between the both of you, which would have been on a communication level, a mutual understanding, or an agreement. You know, temperance is super powerful in the tarot because it's like two people. If we saw how temperance would be playing out in real life, it'd be like a couple walking down the street and they're laughing and giggling. It's smooth as butter. You know, there's no real conflict there. They're all in agreement. You know, something happens and they're both in agreement with how to deal with it, or, you know, they have a balance there. But for some reason, it's suggesting that's not going on here. And this person seemed to feel that they were trying to, there was a misunderstanding, or I don't know. And my assumption is both of you would have had different ways of viewing something, or what was important and what wasn't. All right. With Seven of Swords being here reversed, there's also some type of evasion. This person's thinking about whether somebody's avoiding things, either you or them. Okay, if you guys had any disagreements, or how you responded to this person, you're thinking about that, or how you counter them, or things that you tell them the opposite, like, you know, like, for example, like, you say that this person's only interested in this or something, and then they counter back to you and tell you that's not whatever. This person may be, like, reflecting on that. That's just an example. Or you see this person telling you that they're focusing on this or doing that, and you may not understand. Like, maybe you feel like you're a background priority, so you're questioning their motives or something like that. There seems to be like some, like, again, a strong misunderstanding energy with this reading. That's just my opinion. Person that's not talking with Taurus, how do they see Taurus? Says Four of Wands. So this person either sees you as focusing on family or children, especially if you have children. If you don't, that's okay. Can also suggest you're focusing on family and friends, or you have somebody else this person is speculating you're dealing with. Also, in a lighter sense, this person may also view that you don't care that this person is not around. Like, in other words, you're doing just fine. What is this person that's not talking with Taurus, what do they think about in terms of Taurus in relation to the past? It says Page of Cups reversed. This person feels that there was a lot of pettiness, or sometimes jealousy, or there could have been, again, some type of, at times, not childishness, but, you know, the Page of Cups is a problem card because it does talk about sometimes not being apologetic, and people quarreling with each other. It talks about the emotions, but being that it's a page, the emotional side of things are typically not balanced, they're not controlled, so they can be like reactions are high with this card. Alright, what exactly it's suggesting is very difficult to know. Obviously, it's generalized energy, but I speculate this person is thinking again about something to do with, like, they may be, I think there's some degree of frustration from their side. Of course, their energy seems consistent with someone that would be frustrated, or they're trying to do something, but it doesn't go the way that they want. Alright, Page of Cups reversed can also tell us about a rejection or a low interest. In other words, that page got turned down. Alright? Why is this person thinking about that? Perhaps, you know, they're no longer number one. Maybe they're number 2 or number 10 in your life. Why is this person not talking with Taurus? It says Seven of Pentacles. We'll clarify that. Tell us about Seven of Pentacles. So we have the King of Cups reversed. So it's suggesting this person is evaluating their priorities. Why is the King reversed? What's causing the King to be reversed? Shit, we got way too many cards there. What is causing the King of Cups to be reversed? Okay, we got one card. It says a de-escalation of some situation. Still doesn't really help me though. So this is almost suggesting that there may have been a loss of some sort or some type of, again, friction between the both of you. In what way that showed up, I don't know, Taurus, but it's suggesting like perhaps you two I would think in real life are not seeing things the same way, or there's a loss of interest or a disconnect between each other. Right? I don't know if this is relating to like really in the past or is it recent. It's impossible to know. But the reversal is telling because it's a de-escalation there. It seems like perhaps this king was upright at some point, which is suggesting passionate towards you, but they've gone cold. This would definitely do that, right? Because it's typically one person winning or people that are sparring with each other trying to, again, win an argument or make someone see that their way is more correct than the others or something like that, right? The Seven of Pentacles is a card of reaping what one sows, so it seems like it is kind of an evaluation, but it talks a lot about the future in what you are doing now and how it affects the future. Alright, so it seems like this person is in a self-evaluation energy. It's kind of suggesting in some ways they're focusing on themselves, which is why they're not talking. But what does this mean for Taurus? The Seven of Pentacles and why they're not talking. What does that mean for Taurus? Okay, card comes out. It says disappointment. My final impression here, Taurus, is that you have an individual here. Actually, let me ask one more question. Why, the person that's not talking with Taurus, why do they have interest in Taurus? What can the tarot say? It says the world reversed. Tell us more about that. The only thing that I'm trying to figure out, Taurus, is quite honestly why this person's here. Because I don't really see a clear reason why. I have a suspicion on why they have interest in you, but it's not like a romantic interest. Tell us about the world. So what we have, Four of Swords. Here's my final impression, Taurus. You have a person here, and this reading's a little unusual, in my opinion, from normally what I see in these reads, but it's describing a person that seems to be frustrated, all right? Generally, what I would suspect we would see is some type of, discontentment or something like that, or this person's upset about something or whatever. But most times they have some type of renewed interest in the person or they still think about them. In this reading, it doesn't actually say that. It's saying that what's driving this person's energy is frustration, or they keep thinking about how something didn't work with you. But I don't even think it's why it didn't work. It's more actually like focusing on things that you said with each other or something around that. But I'm just trying to figure out who that would even apply to. All right. This is like an unusual situation because technically one would assume that this would be an over and done situation, but for this person it doesn't seem to be that. All right. This person still kind of feels that there's like a chapter that never quite closed out. I think there's still some questioning on whether they should move past this or not. Part of the reason is I think it bothers them. I'll get advice for this reading because I actually truly don't know what to say here, Taurus, as far as what this person's going to do with you. What is the advice for Taurus in relation to this person? It says 9 of Wands. What an interesting card to get. Why does it say that? So we got some Sagittarius energy there. So it says 6 of Pentacles. What does that mean for this person? So it says the Magician reversed. So this is really telling you, Taurus, in your advice that, you know, and I don't think it's really, in my opinion, like great advice, but it is kind of the two of these energies can be kind of in some ways opposites of each other because it's almost implying in 9 of Wands energy is a very guarded energy. It is a persevering energy, but it's the wounded warrior energy. It tells us about somebody that may approach a situation where they're cautious, guarded, or they're entrenched in a certain way of doing something. And this whole reading is about that, right? 9 of Wands is someone that's unwilling to compromise. They're defending their ground. This is how I see it. That's end of story. All right, you did this. That's it. Blah, blah, blah. So the 6 of Pentacles, though, is somebody that's going to be the opposite of this, where they're going to be giving a lot, being more generous, or open to things, more flexible, not as guarded. Actually, not even guarded at all. All right. And it seems to suggest that Magician reverse, where something cannot start or won't start. You want to have the means to be able to start. So it's cautioning something around that. What does that really mean for you? I suppose in some ways it's kind of suggesting that how you approach, if this person came around, how you approach them is going to radically affect things from your behavior alone. All right? Without even discussing it, in other words. So if you find yourself as a very guarded person, it's just making a suggestion that your outcome is radically going to change based on how your behavior is towards them. Which is, in my opinion, it's just kind of common sense, but maybe it's not so common these days. I don't know. Good luck to you, Taurus. All right. You've got a frustrated little person here. But they can't get you off your mind. So you must be doing something right. Gemini. Tell me about a person our Geminis are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know? What can Gemini know? What can I know? All right. So we have the moon. Okay. Why is this person being described as the moon in relation to their description? What about the moon? Says the Knight of Cups reversed. This person is unsure whether to approach a Gemini. I don't know. They must have been very confident in the past. So, given the imagery of this card, I would imagine this person could have been a very vibrant person who may have been a little bit lovey-dovey, or somebody that was probably pretty good at approaching. Maybe said the right things. Even that cat seems interested. I saw this tarot deck that was just cats, and I'm strongly considering just ordering it. That's why I like this deck, because it has the cats in it. All right. The moon here, though, is telling us, going to the reversal here, that you have to remember with Knight of Cups, in the reversal, and the light energy of this card, it's telling us about failure to do something, or holding back. All right. Any of the cards with horses are movement cards in the tarot, so it is telling us in some ways, if it's reversed, that there's a halting of that, or a cautioning to do that. All right. Knight of Cups in the reversal can also be quite negative, but here it's most likely the lighter energy here, because it's going to the moon, and that's telling us that there's some caution being had with this person, and part of the reason is because of what we're seeing with this image right here. All right. If you notice, the cat's right there looking at its reflection, which is a panther, which tells us sometimes blowing things out of proportion. So how will this look in real life? It's describing a person that may be unsure whether to approach Gemini because of either rejection, or it's not going to go anywhere, or it's a bad idea. So really what this energy tells us is it's a person that doesn't even know if this is true. It could just be making a bad worst case scenario in their head. But you don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's best just not to do anything. Tell us about this person that's cautious to approach Gemini. What are they thinking about? Person that's not talking with Gemini. They're wondering if it could even work with you. What else are they thinking about? You have the 10 of Cups reversed. That's a whopper. So one of the challenges with this person towards you, Gemini, is the question, is the emotional connection between me and Gemini in the toilet? 10 of Cups reversed is never good, because it's telling us that if somebody's thinking about that, there's a questioning of how bad or down the toilet is our emotional connection. All of us talk to people all the time, but we don't all have deep down lasting connections with those people, you know, where you're more trusting with them and willing to let them in your house and whatever, you know. There's varying degrees of trust and loyalty and emotional bonds that you generate over time with certain people. And in a romantic setting, that's very important, especially with family, friends, lovers. All right, but the reversal is telling us that there's a severing of that, or a downgrading going there. Why is this person thinking about that? There's clearly some concern that maybe your bond between you and them is not as strong as it once was. And this is not to say that it's completely gone. They may just be questioning what is there still. How does this person see Gemini? The person is not talking with Gemini. Card comes out. It says Ten of Swords in the reverse. So this person does see you as somebody they moved on from, or the situation ended at some point. Maybe not. Could have ended in a better way, perhaps. But either or, it is suggesting a timeout period that may have passed already. All right. Ten of Swords is any of the tens are typically finality in the tarot, so once can't really go beyond that. So the reversal is telling us of a closing out cycle, or a cycle that's already closed out and passed. So they see you as that. Tell us about this person that's not talking with Gemini. What do they think about in terms of the past in relation to Gemini? Card comes out. Says the Eight of Swords. Clarify Eight of Swords. What particular was bothering this person? Says Wheel of Fortune reversed. So it's saying in some ways that there was a lot of things that just didn't go the way that they should have, or there was bad luck, bad timing, or things happened unexpectedly. If we just look at the Wheel of Fortune, it is a bad luck card. It is sometimes the universe is for whatever reason crashing out a situation. It's the wrong place, wrong time card. Things not going your way when you want them to. You have a perfect plan and it doesn't play out. This one unexpected thing that was supposed to be a 1% chance of it happening happens. Bad luck. Why would it show up here in this situation? It probably tells us there was potentially a lot of certain things that were coming up as challenges or issues between the both of you. And even if it wasn't that, it could have also, the Eight of Swords could tell us heavily about the future. You can have two people that are doing just fine, but one person is worrying about the future more than the other. Am I going to be with Gemini for the rest of my life? There's one thing Gemini does pisses me off and annoys me. I don't really know if I want to be around that. Gemini said this one thing, and I don't know what they mean by that, but I kind of question whether they actually want this relationship. Why does Gemini always have the gardener over for lunch? The one with six-pack abs. Javier, I think it is. When I'm not at home. Gemini, I hope you weren't having the gardener over for lunch. Alright? That could have complicated things for this person. Just kidding. Alright. I was not doing anything with Javier. Javier. Why do we say that? Just kidding. Alright. Enough silly jokes. Alright. Will this person reach out? No. We're not doing that. That was an old question. We're not doing that question anymore because I don't have time for it. Why is this person not talking with Gemini? So there's Four of Swords. So this is just suggesting a timeout between the both of you. It would have been better if this was reversed, but it's not. So this is still kind of suggesting that there is a timeout period. The Four of Swords tells us oftentimes about people that are in isolation. It's typically a no contact card in people that are getting over past the situation or moving past something. all right? Especially in relationships. It's a person that'll focus on themselves, their own health, their own healing, their own career. They're doing them. They're looking at other things. They're not focusing about this other party anymore. All right, so the person seems to still think there's a bit of a timeout period between the both of you. Why? Let's ask this. Why wouldn't this person just approach Gemini randomly? Person that's not talking with Gemini, why wouldn't they just randomly approach Gemini? Card comes out and it goes over the Ten of Swords reversed. It says the Ace of Swords reversed, or the Ace of Swords upright. So keep in mind when it came out, it went over this card. So this is almost this is a card of truth, clarity, and new communication. So this person kind of is suggesting, and the reason I asked that question was because this is a timeout card. So why not just do the opposite of that and just approach? Just do it! But it's saying that this person feels that this needs to be discussed more. This Ten of Swords, or maybe it needs more clarity over it. Whether this is truly in the past. So what would that mean for you in real life? This person seems to have a narrative that potentially things are a certain way, Gemini, but they can't really tell. Again, we have this moon energy here that's complicating things. We know with this person that they are kind of actually very conflicted. I would imagine this person has strong air qualities, or even if they're not an air sign, they're displaying a lot of air energy or air sign-like qualities. This person also could be a water sign of some sort, because there's a lot of emotions mixed in with this overthinking and whatever. This person may also be somebody that is cautious to things or overthinks things, all right? They are overall questioning whether or not to even approach you. Can it work? May it not work? Is there anything there still between us? Again, we saw that with this. How bad is it? This person doesn't seem to know. So they are thinking about that, about things from the past that didn't work out. Maybe it was, again, bad luck, bad timing, or it was unexpected things that threw a wrench between the both of you. All right. They may have also felt that they expected things to go in a certain way or progress in a certain way, or, things were gonna be a certain way, and it never did. And so that kind of does plague their mind on whether coming back around, probably, I would assume, is even a good idea. Because what if you're right? So this person kind of just feels overall that maybe there needs to be more of a discussion on where you both stand, and maybe that would at least clear up a lot of this confusion. But whether they are or not, they're kind of seeing things just distant right now between the both of you. All right, that's what I got for you, Gemini. I think overall this person still has interest in you, but how this clarity will come about is another question, and I'm not here to figure that out. I'm sure, in my opinion, life will make something happen if both of you manifest it enough. I'm not manifesting anything, Wes. We'll see about that. I've always found personally in life, when somebody is adamant about something, life will be listening in and be like, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see how convicted you are in that. Now I know where they got that phrase, careful what you wish for. I think there is some truth in that. But yes, that person is also manifesting you quite a lot, Gemini, through all that thinking, which means that you are taking up real estate in their mind. My Gemini. I need my Gemini. Cancer. How are all the crab people doing? Have you been hanging out with your buddies at Red Lobster? Right? Hopefully Red Lobster is still around. I recall they're having financial trouble. Right. Or maybe Joe's Crab Shack. Never been, but people said it was pretty good. The unlimited cancer bucket. Tell us about a person our cancers are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Cancer know? It says the 3 of Wands horizontal, so we have some Aries energy here. This is a person, Cancer, that doesn't really know what to do, or they don't really know if things are going to move forwards or aren't going to go anywhere with you. This is a progression card, so one would assume that there's some reference or will be in this reading about where, if things will start again or not start or not go anywhere. The problem with it being horizontal is that the reversal is quite negative because it typically tells us a retreat to the 2 of Wands energy, where it's like basically a stagnant energy, decision energy. But the upright would be kind of positive because it's progress. So why is it saying that this is in limbo? So this kind of tells me it's a person that is unsure where they stand with you right now and whether something is going to continue or not continue. What is this person thinking about? It's being described as 3 of Wands horizontal towards Cancer. Can we know about their thoughts towards Cancer? So we have this Knight of Cups. This person is thinking about approaching a Cancer. Look at that. You are a water sign, so this is favorable to you, highly favorable. This immediately tells us a lot about where they stand, that they still have emotional interest towards you. What else are they thinking about towards Cancer? The person that's not talking with Cancer. Card comes out. It says the 8 of Pentacles. This may be a person, Cancer, that is actually trying to actively plan, potentially how to approach you, or how to make something work between the both of you. Why does this person need a plan? What is the reason for that? It says because things have not gone well in the past. This is a card of delays, failed opportunity or failed to ignite, failed to start. It's Wands energy. Ultra important in any relationship. Wands is like the most important energy. Without it, nothing goes anywhere. So why is it saying it didn't go anywhere? So this person seems to figure that we need to just plan a little bit better. You know, I know I took Cancer to that broken down, run down, hole in the wall restaurant that had pretty much a negative 1-star review. And I know I did that to save some money, but it didn't really have a positive effect on Cancer. And perhaps I need to go up the ante, maybe to a 2-star restaurant this time around. Maybe that'll put a smile on Cancer's face. Back to the drawing board! Alright, the private investigator gave me the results and said that Cancer only wants to eat sushi. Hopefully this person is not hiring a private investigator. Oh my Lord. I do think this with this 8 of Pentacles though is also somebody that is reevaluating the situation. Because it is a trial and error card, it is working on one's craft, it is working on a plan, an idea. So there seems to be some still interest in you, but it doesn't seem like whatever they tried in the past went anywhere or didn't work. So I would imagine they want to make this drive in to you a little bit more successful or have a better chance. How do they see Cancer right now? The person that's not talking with Cancer. So it says the 2 of Cups reversed. So this person may see you as single right now, or they're just seeing that you are somebody that was somebody very important to them, but no longer. It is a separation card, an ex-partner. Alright, I think it's more for some of you that this person sees you as single or not in a relationship. In terms of the past, the person that's not talking with Cancer, what do they think about? Okay, a card comes out. It says Judgment in the reverse. Why was Judgment reversed? What caused that? So it says the 5 of Cups. So there was some type of disappointment. Either you guys, your paths didn't align, or there was a start that didn't go anywhere. Person's thinking about that. This card, in the worst case scenario, can also talk about disagreements with each other, or just not getting along with each other. Alright? Seeing things differently. Or having different plans. Cancer saying to this person, they are speculating that this person's going in one direction or whatever, at least from Cancer standpoint, or this person's thinking it's a Cancer going in another direction, or it wasn't going, you guys weren't synergistic in what you were trying to accomplish. Why is this person not talking with Cancer? Person that's not talking with Cancer. Says the Star reverse. So this person may have the sense, Cancer, that there's still some certain things that are not quite resolved with you. Alright, we do have this 5 of Cups here. For this reading, Cancer, I would imagine that this is describing a person where you must have had some very strong emotional chemistry with this person. Why does that matter and why is it important? Because depending on how much emotional investment you had in a person is how much that's going to affect you. For people that you really just don't have a tremendous amount of love for, it hasn't really developed, leaving or walking away from the person is just really not going to be that much of a big deal. Maybe for some it is, but normally connections where there's a lot more emotional investment, walking away or leaving or those connections ending is a lot more tumultuous. Alright? It almost describes that there was some degree of that going on here at some point. Alright, this Star reverse can tell us about things not healing, or there's still kind of like some lingering emotions, or just a vibe even on how somebody feels towards another person. Right? It doesn't have to be doom and gloom here, but it does just suggest that maybe there's still, I don't know, it could be some apathy even. The Star reverse can tell us a degree about people becoming apathetic towards each other, where they're not really making an effort or not really trying. It's like you may, Cancer, wake up and get the impression like, boy, this person really just doesn't do anything. Alright. Maybe they could try harder. I mean, when are they going to take me to that damn 2-star restaurant? Was I only worth 1 star? 1 cup down. How does Cancer see this person they're not talking with? Actually suggests you still see them in, well, King of Wands? Really? I don't know what to say to that, because it's almost suggesting that for some Cancers you may still see attractive features about this person, whether it's their looks, the way that they dress, or something that they do, you may still have interest in them. So one would ask, why? What is the problem here? If this person still cares about Cancer or has attraction, well, love for Cancer, and Cancer still has physical attraction towards this person, why are they not together? Or why are they not approaching each other? What is the challenge? What is the challenge between Cancer and this person they're not talking about? We get 2 cards. It says 8 of Wands and the 2 of Wands reversed. You get total opposites of each other. One is saying that it's directionless and can't go anywhere, and the other is rapid movements forward. So it's saying this connection. The challenge is this becoming stalled and this suddenly taking off. I wish it would have given us a bigger clue than that, because it really doesn't tell us why it's. Why does it do that though? Here's my final impression of this reading, Cancer. I think it's a little bit strange because of how it said you see this person. So this tells us that despite whatever's showing in here, there's still some Cancer that would be viewing this person. Either you still have some type of physical attraction to them, or there's something that you like about them, right? I'm not saying you have to love them, but it's saying that you wouldn't quite say no to them. There's something that you like, but even if you didn't feel it was working out, doesn't mean to say that you can't view them as attractive, all right? This person, on the other hand, seems to have more of an emotional interest towards you. I don't know on your side. Maybe you don't have feelings for this person, or you do. Doesn't really matter, all right? This person does kind of is aware that there's been some type of delays between the both of you, or it didn't take off. They see the situation more as stuck. The interesting thing with the 3 of Wands is that there's some sense from this person that they may have the impression that things will continue with you, but at the same time, they're not 100%, right? So this almost tells us like it's in a limbo period right now, all right? This person does almost kind of reflect on potentially that you and them may have had misaligned paths, or potentially it's a Cancer that has different priorities to them. Could have been an issue with Judgment reversed. There's also a Star reverse, potentially some things that are not quite resolved or healed, or there's, again, some apathy potentially, all right? The challenge is almost, as I told you, about this either becoming, basically the challenge is this. It's telling us things just taking off or stolen. So I don't know what the universe is trying to say there, but whatever. The positive is in their thoughts here, though. Cancer does kind of show this person thinks about how to maybe repair things or make things better. So there is interest on their side towards you. So what can we expect from this? Potentially this person may approach you, especially that night. So how they would do that, don't know. Good luck to you, Cancer. All right. Could be a fire sign, given that you're described them like that. Leo. How are all the Leos doing? The Tigers and the Lions. Alright, so tell me about a person our Leos are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? It says the 10 of Pentacles. Could be a bank account. Could be a wealthy person. Or it was somebody that you had a marriage with, potentially. If you didn't have a marriage with this person, that's quite alright. Can further talk about somebody that is wanting to have a connection with you long term. Why is it describing this person like this? I don't know. But we'll find out. Person could be a business owner or somebody that came into an inheritance or some type of wealth. Or somebody that talks a lot about, like, that they're gonna be bougie rich. Just you wait! You haven't seen all my money yet. I know I told you last time I was gonna show you, but this time it's for real. Queen's like not interested. Oh god. What is this person thinking about towards Leo? A person that's not talking with Leo. So it says the 6 of Swords. I know I told you a Bentley, but this is all I could afford. Here's gonna be a Bentley next time. Just kidding. We got 6 of Swords. That is positive. We can talk about moving things to calmer waters or resolving issues. So any type of little knickknacks or problems or things that might get in the way, it's always nice to resolve that and be able to push things in another direction, because who knows, it might bloom or it might prosper. All right, this person seems to be thinking about that towards you. All right, what else are they thinking about towards Leo? It says 7 of Cups. First time we're seeing this card. So we've got Aquarius and Scorpio energy. So this is telling us in some ways that this person is unsure. They see a lot of potential here. So next to 6 of Swords is important because this can be a person that is seeing a lot of possibilities about the future and where it could go. All right. Now always remember, when somebody's imagining that, a bunch of those scenarios are quite favorable and some of them are not so good. All right. The question is, which one of those scenarios are we going to be? But 7 of Cups is a choice card. So perhaps they're imagining themselves and Leo married in Cabo. There's also them and Leo in Las Vegas gambling their life savings away and not going so well. Just kidding. That's a terrible example, but just giving you context here. Maybe gambling your wealth away at the casino is maybe not going to move things to calmer waters. It's like, here comes our future life. Oh, here it comes. Oh, next one. Oh, walk out the casino. All right, well, maybe next time. Yeah, you'd be like, I don't know if there's going to be a next time after that. Tell us about how this person sees Leo, a person that's not talking with Leo. Wow, you get the Ace of Cups. That's really positive here. So this person, again, we're getting an individual that's showing up in this reading that's definitely having interest to want to approach a Leo. They see you as somebody that could be quite a potential for a new connection or a new start. What does this person think about in terms of the past in relation to Leo? The person that's not talking with Leo, what do they think about in terms of the past? Oh, shit. Well, we had one card that kind of flipped up, so I'm going to take that. This is suggesting giving up or not fighting for the connection. So why would they be thinking about that? There must be some degree of... Why would it bother this person? Why would Seven of Wands reverse bother this person? Says the walking away. I don't know why that would bother them so much there, Leo, but it's saying that that is something that affects them or weighs on them. Was the defeat, the collapse, giving up, no longer fighting for things, somebody having to walk away, leaving a situation, abandoning it. Was that you or them? I don't know. Or both of you. Who knows? That seems to bother this person, which is probably what's fueling this energy here. Just saying. Why is this person that's not talking with Leo, what is the reason they're not talking with Leo? What can we know? So it says the Four of Wands horizontal. So actually I'm going to clarify, but we don't need to. So this is almost suggesting here, Leo, a questioning of whether you and them can still be a relationship or not. And I find it funny that in the beginning, you know, I said that there's a chance of maybe marriage or something around that. Maybe some of you were married at some point, some of you weren't, all right? But this could go both ways, so it's suggesting this person's unsure, and we already know that here. So why they're not talking with you, it's almost suggesting what we have here, Leo, is somebody that has interest towards you again. It's renewed interest. They see you as a potential person to approach again. That's good. They also see that there's possibilities for things to improve or go in a different direction. But as I pointed out, there's also those possibilities that it may not go to calmer waters. The only question is, you don't know until you try. So how would it play out? That's the question. This person, again, thinks about the past. Told you about that, walking away. So what's stopping them right now, or why they're not talking, is it seems to be a uncertainty around potentially whether you and them are going to be a thing. Maybe you've made comments to them in the past. I'm not saying you did. Maybe you never did. But just giving an example, you may have kind of told them you're done. You know, that ship has sailed. So if you had something like that, even if time's gone on, they may be questioning, well, maybe it's a no then. Well, maybe if I approach it a certain way, it could be a thing. So it seems like this person is really stalled right now and uncertain how things will play out between the both of you. All right, but what is the positive in this reading? It's suggesting they have interest in you. I could potentially see this person approaching you again to test the water, is what I suspect they would do. That's just my guess. All right. Good luck to you, Leo. I'll move on to the next person. Virgo. How are the Virgo people doing? Hope you're doing great. You know, let's use the banana tarot for your reading. Tell us about the person our Virgos are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Virgo know? Says the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So it's describing this person, Virgo, as somebody that it just couldn't work with. Or 8 of Pentacles is more of a financial card, and it's more of a self-improvement kind of card. But in relationships, it oftentimes does talk about the cohesion between two different people being able to work together. Because I don't know about you, it takes 2 people to make a relationship work, not just one. So how do you guys work with each other, discuss things with each other? And it doesn't have to be very complex things. It can be very simple things like just dinner. I mean, can you imagine 2 people constantly arguing over where we're going to eat? That would be like a headache, right? So just having something as simple as one person maybe likes to make the plans, the other is okay with that, you get along with each other, that's a great situation. But 2 people having conflict with each other, no, we need to spend money on this, no, we shouldn't, blah, 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 and stuff like that, it may not work out. We need to save for an apartment, no, we need to save for a house. No, I want to go on this vacation. No, you shouldn't go on this vacation because we're spending too much money. Think about all the things and different types of things people could argue or disagree on, things like that. But it's almost implying that this is an individual that you came in contact with where maybe it could have been some different viewpoints on how things should be or how you perceive a relationship should be. All right, and there could have also been with the 8 of Pentacles reversed, this could have been a person that may have felt like there wasn't enough of the right elements to make this work. All right. How does this person, or what is this person thinking about towards Virgo? The one that's not talking to Virgo? Says the 10 of Swords reversed. We've been seeing this card a lot. What else are they thinking about towards Virgo? We got 2 cards that want to come out. Says the Ace of Swords and the Page of Cups reversed. We'll take both of them. Tell us about the Ace of Swords reversed. Clarify that. What is... Might take that, because that is... We're splitting the deck on that. I'm going to take the High Priestess with that as well. And this. And this as well. The 5 of Swords here. Those all tell a story there. And then what about... No, wait... What does the Page of Cups reverse have to do with Virgo? Says just the Hermit. That doesn't really tell us a whole lot. In their thoughts, it's suggesting here, Virgo, that this is a person that is in their mind quite a bit. Alright? There seems to be, one of the main things this person is focusing on is that there's not a lot of clarity on potentially how things would look moving forwards with you. Alright, and part of the reason why it's saying that is because of this. It's suggesting that there may have been, again, something that wasn't working, or some type of disagreement, or misunderstanding between the both of you that is a bit of a problem. It's like a little bit of a wrench, where it's complicating things, at least for this person's standpoint. It shows them thinking it's a factor that's weighing in their mind quite a bit, but it's ultimately saying there's not much clarity over it, or there's again, there hasn't been much of a very meaningful discussion over it. Why that is, I don't know. Ten of Swords being reversed also tells us about a closing out cycle or restarting something or potential for a new chapter. But again, that also depends on where you're at, right? What would that mean in real life? It's really just like if two people separate from each other, it didn't work. Most times people will gradually just kind of fade out from each other, go one way, you go they do their thing, you do your thing. But the real question is are both parties at a point where they're back to neutral baseline again, or is there lingering kind of like, screw them, or a lack of interest there? In most cases that can be a problem or a challenge because it means you're closed for business, all right? But it doesn't mean to say in every person. Some people are just, I'm not worried about it. So I think this person does kind of wonder a little bit how, if it's a big deal, like if there's something from the past year that is still weighing in as a big deal or not. All right, this Page of Cups here reversed going to the Hermit can tell us there's some concern about maybe of a rejection, or you wouldn't be that interested. Like this Hermit can also tell us about the road ahead or thinking about something. One would ask if from their standpoint they're thinking that you would be in a thinking, let me think about it attitude, or I'm not really sure. I'd really have to, I'm not really sure we're going to work again. So this person's almost thinking like you would kind of give them some answer like that, or you would be, you may not even give them an answer. They may just speculate that that's what you're going to do. Like you're going to be wondering whether you even want to participate in this or not. They may expect here, Virgo, as well, with this energy, that it's possible that from your standpoint, you would be very like, even if this person approached you, you may like take time to get back to them, or you're kind of like very won't give much, not much rope to work with. What is this person that's not talking with Virgo? What do they think about in terms of the past in relation to Virgo? Supposed to be using the Banana Tarot. What do they think about in terms of the past? What do they think about? We have a tower there, but we're not going to take that. Wow, that fucking tower came out again. It just shot out. We're going to take that. That's most certainly a sign. So it is thinking about a blowout between the both of you. Tell us about the tower between Virgo and this person. It says the ending there. I mean, death is not always bad, but it does talk about the closing of a chapter. Death can also like describe to us sometimes when situations where there was once a castle, a blooming garden, the sky was blue, the sun was shining, the bees were flying around, and then it goes to the picture that that whole castle and everything is burned down, it's raining, the bees are not out. It's like that is a pretty doom and gloom scenario. But death is telling us that inevitably time will move on, and what will happen is that will become now a foundation for something else. The question is what? In other words, there'll be another day when the birds and the bees are going to be flying around and things will be blooming again. It's just a case of what and when. So this person's thinking about that. Something that, so I would imagine that this reading's talking about a significant individual in your life, Virgo, that you had a strong connection with. Definitely not somebody that was just a throwaway kind of, I don't know, somebody that you dated for a couple of months or something like that. Unlikely, but all right. This person may have also love could have been a thing here too in this connection, because not every connection people form love, but this one, it may have been love between the both of you. Funny enough, this tower is also talking about, you know, when foundations are weak or there's something that is not working or healthy in the connection, the universe can break it apart, cause a blowout, and it's describing this person as that, something like that. So there was some unique problem between the both of you, or something that was causing a rift. Why is this person not talking with Virgo? Says the Seven of Wands reversed, so they've either just saying they've given up, or they feel the situation is defeated. How would Virgo see this person if they came around? Person that is not talking with Virgo, if they came around unexpectedly to Virgo, I have a king here too. I do wonder if they're an earth sign. It says you would be open to giving to them. So that's telling us in some ways in modern day, you wouldn't be shut off to them. That's what it's saying. And the other, well, actually I take that back. It could be suggesting if you see them like that, that they're wanting to give to you. Or this person's trying to be generous. Because this card can talk about somebody that is trying to be extra nice, being good. You know, it's like not worrying about themselves, they're giving to others. Alright, this guy is giving to all these poor people here because he has the wealth to do it. But in a relationship setting, it is somebody that's coming around trying to appease you or make you feel special, good. So why would... Is this a good thing, I question? If you're seeing them like this, or you're just seeing it like, well, they're just trying to suck up to me or something. How would Virgo feel towards this person they're not talking with? Says you would be undecided. So even if this person came around in a positive spirit and you were receptive to whatever they were giving you or showing you, it's still saying that you would be on the fence. And we're not going to clarify that because we don't have time. Here's my final impression, Virgo. To me, this seems like it was a connection that had some definite pizzazz with it. It would have had to. Again, an actual love connection would have been a thing here. Alright, but this person, by and large, is reflecting on what has happened in the past. They seem to be a big thinker. Alright, person could be an earth sign, air sign. Alright. There seems to be some rift, dividing rift, I've talked about many times in this reading. It shows you as somebody that would be very probably a thinker, or I don't know, when it comes to this person, telling us that there's some part of you that probably doesn't want to repeat this or questions whether you should. This person, unfortunately, is seeing things as a bit defeated right now, so that's not a good energy because it tells us that their hope of this really recovering or restarting is not that big, but they still speculate that there's a chance it could. Alright. So that's what I got for you, Virgo. Take it or leave it. Alright. There is, I said this for another sign, but this person also seems, I can't remember which sign it was, but this person seems like you are taking some type of real estate up in their mind, which tells me that they still have some type of lingering emotions towards you, and it's probably because there's been time and space between the both of you, alright, which is a contributing factor on why that is, like why they are becoming fonder. Libra. Tell me about the person our Libras are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Libra know? What can we know? So it says the Six of Pentacles reversed. All right. This may be a person or an individual Libra that you may kind of get the sense or the impression doesn't really have much to offer you. Either that, or you feel that they're a bit stingy. They could do more. Like, in other words, this would be like, I feel like I'm doing all the work, all the effort, and I don't really get much back. So, worst case scenario, an unrequited love, hopefully not. I don't really get that too much here, but Miz may feel that they just hold back a lot, or they don't do a whole lot. All right, like you could feel like you may have expectations on what you're hoping will happen, and it just doesn't go there. And you're like, well, bothers you. You may also get the impression like this person is demanding or wants stuff, or is asking stuff from you, and you're not getting much back, or only wants you when they need you. Tell us about this person that is being described as Six of Pentacles reversed. Person that's not talking with Libra. How do they feel? No, not too late now. So we have Knight of Pentacles reversed. What is this person thinking about towards Libra? So it says the Nine of Swords, and what else? Says King here of Wands. So their feelings is suggesting the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which is not good because it's telling us this person kind of feels that you and them aren't going anywhere. All right, why is the King of Wands here? So they're in a dominant energy. Why is this person thinking about King of Wands? Or this is talking about action. It says Six of Pentacles upright. What about that? All right. So the very thing that you are complaining, well, okay, I don't want to say things with certainty because there's always a possibility the tarot is suggesting something else. All right. But if I'm right, this person is maybe displaying behavior like that, or you got the impression, or whatever, and how this person would have seen this, I don't even know, in my opinion. But this is suggesting this person is thinking about doing the very opposite. So how would they be thinking about that? The only one I can think that would happen is if you've told them. Okay, the King of Wands is somebody that in the tarot is an individual that'll flirt with you, they'll kind of make you feel good. They know the right ways to basically, and it doesn't matter if it's the king or the queen, they're very good at charisma or telling you, kind of like reading somebody and knowing what to tell them, right? Because they're already calculating that it's like, well, this is what either they want to hear, or what makes them excited, or what makes them laugh, or what makes them interested. All right, some people are good at doing that. All right, but whatever the case is, it's clarifying the Six of Pentacles, which is somebody that would take that Wands energy and invest to being a bit more open, giving, loving, caring, whatever. All right, or taking it into consideration. Remember, they're just thinking about it. It's not their intentions. So it's telling us they're putting thought into that. All right, but there is this Nine of Swords. We have a King that's reversed. You'll see that pops out again. Tell me about Nine of Swords. Clarify that. Why is that in your thoughts? Card comes out. It says Six of Swords. So there's a lot of concern about whether things could even improve between the both of you, or go in another direction, or doubt. You know, there is doubt with Nine of Swords as well. So while this person is looking at this, obviously to remedy this, there is doubt that even if they did that, it wouldn't really matter. Or it wouldn't, they question how much it would even improve the situation between the both of you. All right. I mean, why, you have to really say to yourself, why even make an effort towards something? If you're not even sure that it's even going to go anywhere or improve things, then why bother? This person's wondering that. How does this person see Libra? So they see you as very independent. They also kind of get the sense that you may be looking for marriage or somebody that is wealthy or just going to take care of you, or you're looking for a very, if it's not that, you're looking for somebody particular. All right? Nine of Pentacles does tell us in the tarot about an individual that's generally not super young, but somebody that could be in their late 20s, mid 20s, in their 30s. I would say closer to the late 20s and 30s, or even a bit older, that is established with money, finances, or they already have the basics of life established. They have an identity. They know what they kind of want or what they're looking for, all right? But they're looking for that match, right? So it can't just be any person. The Nine of Pentacles is looking for the right kind of person, but again, she may have standards or want something in particular, all right? So maybe you don't just want a casual romance, you're looking for a long-term partner, because what is one away from this is the Ten of Pentacles, which does talk about marriage. So what do you think she's doing? She's looking for a marriage partner. The person sees you as that. Or maybe somebody that's just interested in marriage. What is this person that's not talking with Libra? When they think about the past in terms of Libra, what do they think about? It says Five of Swords reversed. So any tension that you guys had with each other or whatever failed, this person spends a lot of time thinking about, it says. All right. Five of Swords is always negative because it can also talk about people kind of having tantrums, issues, disagreements, or calling each other out on things. It can also talk about drama, if there was any. Some of you may not have had that, but that's fine. But it does generally talk about a loss or something that didn't work out for either party, so really nobody won, all right, or got anything in the end. This person seems to focus on that. Again, it seems to weigh on their mind, probably as a factor on whether things could move forwards again or not. Sometimes part of the reason for that is the question of, do they even want to deal with me again? Why is this person not talking with Libra? Person that's not talking with Libra, why are they not talking with Libra? We got one card. Says the Four of Cups. So this is a card that can tell us sometimes about disappointment, all right, or lack. It is sometimes the should have, the could have, the would have. So there is a mixture in some cases of wanting reality to be different than it is, all right. So how would this play out in this scenario? This would be somebody that is viewing a situation that maybe it had potential, but it didn't go the way that it should have. It sucks, but that's just the way that it worked out. What can you do? So this person seems to have a little bit of a, their energy is very mixed, whoever this person is. So mixed energy. How would Libra see this person if they came around? Oh, it's too many cards. I'm not going to take that. If this person that's not talking with Libra came around, How would Libra see them? Well, we have 2 cards here. We're just going to take it because it's the second time now. So it says the Ace of Pentacles, but the 10 of Wands. So you may feel or get the sense that this person is trying to start something with you. The 10 of Wands, you can kind of get the sense there. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort to push for something. I mean, maybe this tells me that you already know that this person could be persistent at times when they want to be. How would Libra feel about the Ace of Pentacles from this person? So it says Ace of Swords reversed. Clarify Ace of Swords reversed. Why would Libra feel that? So we have 3 of Wands. So there's some, it seems like it's almost suggesting from your standpoint that there would be some uncertainty or either you're unsure or you're. So this is kind of almost like the way it's coming out. It's like it's almost like suggesting somebody coming around to propose something to you, but you're not really sure of the specifics. So it's causing you to be hesitant towards it. That's what it's saying. So to me, this almost implies like it's not really saying a Libra that's entirely closed off. It's just saying that you're not really sure of the direction. And so you may be wary or hesitant towards this person. Here's my final summary, Libra. I think you got a person here that and at least it seems the theme of the tarot today, because I've had it in more than one reading, but you've got a person here that is spending a lot of mental energy looking at the potential of you and them coming back together. All right, they do kind of, as I said earlier, see you as somebody that appears to be single, but again, looking for something specific. There may have been some type of, again, conflict here in the past between the both of you, or something that caused this, whatever this 5 of Swords was about, all right, which may have been a dividing factor between the both of you. You may have, one possibility is that you were trying to make it known to this person that you felt things were a bit one-sided, or they just kind of, or maybe you've had discussions with them at some point that weren't really chaotic. It may have just been you communicating that you didn't like this, or this could be better, or when are you going to do this, or something like that, and you just didn't really see it. So you started feeling like, well, maybe they're focusing their time or whatever on something else, and they don't really care. So you may have lost interest in this person, all right? They do think about how moving things forwards, again, looks like, what that would be potentially like, but again, with 9 of Swords energy, it's chaotic in their minds, so they're probably unsure. There could even be moon energy there, suggesting a lot of unknowns. All right, this person is somehow aware, again, and for this reading to really apply, you must have told them something, because it's showing in their thoughts, they're thinking about it. But it would be corrective action. Right now, this person's seeing things are going nowhere with you. All right. And it seems like even if this person came around, you would be aware maybe that from your standpoint that they're trying again, but you would question whether it even go anywhere. So anyways, that's what I got for you, Libra. Good luck to you. All right. See what this person does in the future. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Scorpio. How are the Scorpio people doing? Tell me about a person our Scorpios are not talking to. Who is this person? What can you know? What can I know? What can Scorpio know? It says the Lovers reverse, so we have some Gemini energy there. So this could have been a person you saw as a potential soulmate. You got with them. Maybe the sex was good. Maybe the dates were good in the beginning. The communication was good. You may have even had fantasies of this person at some point. Where will this go? Is this too good to be true? Now, this card tells us that it's not a guarantee that they're a soulmate, but they could be. You just don't know. It's showing reverse here. So, evidently, whatever you suspected didn't work out. Alright. So, but what's the significance here? It was obviously somebody that you... I mean, we have a queen here too. You must have had quite a lot of attraction to this person. Tell us about this person that's showing Lovers reverse towards our Scorpios. What are they thinking about? Card comes out. Says the Chariot. So this could be trying to push things forwards or move things forwards. Alright, but it is a card that does tell us that it doesn't matter what it is, there's always some type of obstacles or challenges that need to be overcome. But the upright is good because it can tell us about somebody's interest in something. What else is this person thinking about towards Scorpio? Says judgment, a potential new beginning here. All right, but that is contingent on where both people stand. All right, so this person is thinking about the potential for a new start between the both of you. So their thoughts are quite good. How does this person see Scorpio? Person that's not talking with Scorpio. Come on now. Not really get anything from that deck. See your person that's not talking with Scorpio. How do they currently see Scorpio? Card comes out. It says the Moon. They don't really know. Alright, Moon does tell us about a lot of possibilities, which then leads us to speculation. So, but overall, it's really telling us that when they view you and them, it's kind of a question mark on where you guys stand. In other words, they may get the sense that your interest is mixed. They also may get the impression that you don't reveal much or you don't really make things clear. I don't really know. Because you have to remember, the Moon can even go as far as deception, but not deception, but illusions, because of the fact that something may appear a certain way and you may be convinced it appears that way, and then 1 month goes by and life throws you a curveball and reveals to you that that's actually not what it really was. In other words, you got it wrong. Happens all the time. So you just don't know. What does this person think about in terms of the past? In relation to Scorpio. Person that's not talking with Scorpio, what do they think about in terms of the past in relation to Scorpio? What do they focus on? Okay, we're not getting nothing. So this just came out. I'm going to put it at the top there. It flipped out on its own. What do they think about in terms of Scorpio? From the past. It says King of... Why would they think that? This is almost like suggesting they're thinking around things that potentially bothered them or they saw as issues. Tell us more about the King of Swords in their past. So it says 2 of Wands. We're going to take that. This person may have said some things to you in the past, alright? Or there was a lot of uncertainty, or they're wondering what they said, or something around that. It shows them thinking about something about them, but in their actions or something that they've said, or how they said, or what they were saying, or something like that. 2 of Wands is a direction card, so I would wonder if it was to leave or go in a different direction or to stay. Like it's almost suggesting like that bothered them. They were trying to figure out what to do when it came to you, Scorpio. So they're like revisiting that, and I don't know if that's to try to figure out the present, like why did I leave the last time or something like that. That's like almost a bit of an evaluation energy about what past reasons or how things went the last time, or where they stood. Why is this person not talking with Scorpio? Person that's not talking with Scorpio, why are they not talking with Scorpio? What does it suggest? Card comes out. It says King of Cups. So this person may be confused around their emotions towards you. King of Cups is the most romantic card in the tarot. What is the problem with the King of Cups? So it says a page here. So whether they should engage you or not. So that's pretty important because it tells us in some ways it matches with this energy here, suggesting that this person does see potential. But I also wonder if it's suggestive here in why they're not talking with you on where you stand towards them. What is the challenge? If this person has King of Cups and Page of Pentacles towards Scorpio, what is the challenge? So it says open communication. This card's been coming out a lot as well for all the reads today. So it's something as a theme in the reads about clearing things up. It seems to be a dominating theme throughout a lot of the readings today. So what's interesting and why they're not talking is this person it's showing does have interest, but they're not doing it. And it seems to be something about there's a lack of clarity here. Well, actually, how they see you is moon. So again, coming back to that moon energy I discussed earlier. How does Scorpio see this person they're not talking with? Wow, we get moon, but it's reversed here. Why? Tell us about the reversal of the moon. Because of walking away. So you may feel this person abandoned ship or left or walked away. So you kind of get the sense, Scorpio, that they don't care. What a mess this reading is. Alright, here's my final impression here, Scorpio. This to me seems like it was some type of, who knows, how passionate. There was probably a lot of chemistry, or there was a lot of pizzazz, fantasies, who knows what. Alright, there must have been something special there at one point. Alright, that's how it's describing this person. This person does wonder about the obstacles to having a new start or what that would look like. Is that even possible? You have to remember something that's super important with Judgment showing up there, is that this card can talk about new beginnings, but it's not just talking about that. It's talking about, for that to happen, both people have to be aligning with that. In other words, they're on the same page. You can't have that new beginning with two people seeing things differently. Like one's still stuck in the past and one's what's the word? Optimistic for the future. You'll never get anywhere with that. Because in that case, it would be upright and one reversed, which is not going to work. Both need to be upright. Right now, it's actually saying that they see you. There's a whole pile of confusion. They don't really even know where you stand. All right. Either that's because you don't talk, or there's been no communication for quite some time, that things have got to the point where they don't even know what you're doing anymore or what you're about. Maybe you appeared in a certain way at some point in time, but now you no longer do. All right, which is only going to throw more confusion. All right, this past, again, I kind of speculated on that. It seems like it's some focus around themselves about what they were saying or what they were, like what caused things to become snagged the last time. All right, and why they're not talking, it shows that there's still interest there, but this person's not doing it. It seems like there's not much clarity coming back to the moon. And then how you see them, it's showing moon reversed. But that sometimes is a worsening of the moon energy or an improvement. In this case, I think it's an improvement because it's clarifying to this walking away card. So you may have got the sense that, well, they left, so it is what it is. So you may, if I had to take a guess here, this person seems to be the one that's throwing more energy into this. From a Scorpio standpoint, it seems like it's more of a closed case. It's like, well, you know, it is what it is. All right. So, I don't know. This to me, there seems to be a bit of a roadblock here in the situation, but I guess we'll see in time what happens. Good luck to you, Scorpio. That's what I got for you. All right, leave me a like if you got something out of that, or better yet, hype the video. Be lovely. Wouldn't it be lovely? Sagittarius. All right. Tell me about a person our Sagittarius are not talking to. Who's this person? What can we know? We have the Magician that wanted to pop its head out immediately. All right. So we do have some Gemini energy. This is a person that is looking for the potential of you and them starting again or having some type of start. All right, Magician is powerful energy because it is telling us when someone is seeing the stars align in such a way that could give them a suggestion that a start is possible. All right, tell us about this person that's not talking with Sagittarius, person that is being described as a magician. What are they thinking about towards Sagittarius? What are they thinking about? We have Moon here. I'm going to take that. Seemed right. We have King here, off cups. One more card and what they're thinking about towards Sagittarius. And the Fool reversed. So Coming back to this moon is important because there is some type of shadowing that is clouding this energy here. This is a person questioning whether they still have feelings for you and how strong are those feelings. To me, it immediately tells me, because of the magician being here, that whoever this person is does see something in you. Okay? Even if that love died at one point, doesn't mean to say that's always forever. In some cases it is, but in others it's not. All right? Maybe having that distance or space or whatever, there's still just that, I've been lonely for a minute, and it's kind of nice having Sagittarius around. All right? But the Fool being reversed here is a card which does question that journey. All right? In the upright, it would tell us somebody that's just not really so worried about the problems or issues that may come to them. But the reversal tells us it is somebody that's worried about that. Maybe it won't work. Maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe it'll never go anywhere. And we've got that moon energy clouding it a little bit. Kind of adding that extra layer of I don't know onto it. So we've got somebody that with clouded feelings towards you. Although the king is strong energy. How does this person see Sagittarius? Person that's not talking with Sagittarius. So we have Ace of Pentacles. So this person does see you as somebody that is a potential. It's an opportunity card. So this is telling us they see potential. When this person thinks about the past, the person that's not talking with Sagittarius, what do they think about? What do they focus on in terms of the past in relation to Sagittarius? Nothing. Let's try the Banana Tarot, see if that gives us a card. What do they think about in terms? Okay. Wow, we have Tower. Again, I have Tower for one other reading. Maybe there's some relation to that reading as well. Unfortunately, I just don't remember which sign it was. Maybe, oh fuck, I don't want to send you down a rabbit hole, but one of these reads, I was Virgo, Libra, I don't think it was Scorpio. Maybe Virgo or Libra. One of them had a tower there. You could go and check that out if you have the time. Alright, I don't know if the reads have similar vibes going there, but maybe. But it's showing a tower, something that separated the both of you. Tell us about the tower. What was a factor in the tower? It says a page. So somebody... Why the page? So it says Three of Swords. So there could have been somebody interfering, potentially. Three of Swords is a separation card, but it's also a third-party card. There could have... But the question is, was there truly another person in the connection? That's a possibility, but this could have been somebody that was communicating, messaging, or saying something. Either it was negative thoughts, speculating something, or they were directly interfering. Maybe they were messaging your partner. You caught them messaging them, or you speculated whether they were talking with each other. That would have most certainly led to a tower, because you're like, well, fuck you. You want to be talking with other people, then I'll be. So it doesn't mean to say that they were dating or anything, but the page is nosy. It's somebody that could be coming in unannounced. They don't typically communicate any of that. They don't really care. They also have the problem where they're not really considerate sometimes towards how others feel. Oh, you're involved with the relationship. Well, I don't really care. I'm kind of satisfied with my own curiosity. I just wanted to say hi to you. What are you up to? Want to hang out? Well, I'm involved with somebody right now. Well, you can still come hang out. Just talk. We're just going to talk. Maybe this could have been not so good. All right. So this person's thinking about that. So this tower could have been something relating to speculation of... I don't want to go as far as a third party, because I don't think there was that here, but who knows? There could have been concerns around that, or was your partner involved? All right. This could have been for either side. Either it was this person doing that or it was you doing that. Or hell, both of you. Maybe for a real Jerry Springer, both of you are doing it. We like to up the ante around here, Wes. All right. What is the reason this person is not talking with Sagittarius? It gives us a King of Swords, which tells us absolutely nothing. I'm just kidding. It probably does. Give me a minute. Tell us about the King of Swords. So it says Hierophant, so I'm leaning towards absolutely nothing. I'm just kidding. So this is actually suggesting this person would be open to talking. But the kings don't reach out, but it doesn't mean to say they're closed off to communication. What does this mean for Sagittarius, the King of Swords? We have Queen of Swords. I'm going to take that because this is almost suggesting both of you have matching energy. And the Hierophant is telling you that probably you both have your own principles or standards that you're sticking to. I'll just wait for Sagittarius to get a hold of me. I'll just wait for him to get a hold of me, him or her. So both of you may be like, I'm open to talk, but that's if they're going to do it. And then they say the same thing. So, kind of interesting. And look at that. We get the King of Swords again. What the fuck? Crazy. Both of you could be an air energy towards each other. Both got a whopper of a sword. Good lord. It's like a sword comparing contest. Who's got a bigger sword? Mine's got an extra 3 inches, just so you know. Size does matter, just so you know. How does Sagittarius see this person they're not talking with? I have a page here. This is how it came out. So you see them as Ace of Pentacles reversed. And this person sees you as Ace of Pentacles. So you are opposites of each other. So your person sees you as potential, and you're seeing this person as not doing anything, or they're not taking action, or you don't see them as an opportunity anymore. I personally get the sense you don't see them doing anything. I mean, what are the fucking odds of that? So, you guys are polar opposite right now. They should be doing something, but they're not. How does... If this person that's not talking with Sagittarius brought that Ace of Pentacles, how would Sagittarius feel towards them? I have the Ace here. I'm not going to take that. It says Page of Wands reversed. That's not good because it almost suggests that you would be slow to even start with that or put energy into it. So this is a this is a problem card because that is almost suggesting that from a Sagittarius side that you would probably have reasons why, but it's saying that you wouldn't be jumping on the opportunity. You would actually be doing the opposite. Either you're looking at it, or you're uncertain whether you want to put energy into it, or you're just kind of like giving it like little bursts here and there, but it would almost show a lack of enthusiasm. Why would it suggest Page of Wands reversed in Sagittarius feelings? Why would it suggest Page of Wands reverse? So we get Hierophant again. Why does it keep saying Hierophant? We get Hierophant twice. On their side and your side. Is that your differences? You have differences? Because that can talk about principles and values. Or are you not compromising on that? What is the problem with the Hierophant? What is the challenge with that? It says 10 of Swords. So, oh God, that's a whole nother rabbit hole I don't want to go down. Here's my final impression, Sagittarius. Alright, overall, this to me seems like a person that at some point in time, there's quite similar energies between the both of you, or at least you guys can have the ability to match each other's energy quite well. So that tells me that you have compatibility in a lot of areas with this person. They still show some type of strong emotions towards you, but again, I already went over that there's clouding around it, as well as whether things will ever go anywhere with you. To take a chance, maybe not to take a chance. Alright, this person still sees potential with you, but oddly enough, you're showing the opposite. Why that is, I don't know. And it even shows that your side would just be, I don't know. I'm not saying that's bad. There's obviously maybe in the tarot it's suggesting you would have a reason for that. That maybe you're just not jumping to the offer anymore. Alright. You guys are both matching each other's energy, so that's making communication hard because it's almost like an expectation in some ways. Like this person will be like, well, I'll just wait for Sagittarius to do the work and come approach me, and that maybe that'll tell me if they're interested or not. But it almost kind of seems like you're not going to do that. Or you're more hesitant. There's some past issue, which I gave some potentials for that it's suggesting here could have been a factor, or maybe some outside interference from somebody. To what extent, I don't really know. It's also possible when I think about it that somebody was speculating or saying they wanted to break up. That's also possible. Maybe there was no third party and it was just somebody that was just constantly saying they wanted to break up. Alright, and it kind of led to a tower. You're like, you know what, fuck this then. I don't want to try this anymore. So, what is the positive overall in this reading? It's saying you still have somebody that is contemplating the potential of you and them starting again, but your side overall is showing a lower interest towards this person. Good luck to you, Sagittarius. Hopefully something works out. Or maybe you just find something new. Or you do you. Where the fuck are my decks? Capricorn. How are you doing, Capricorn? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Tell us about the person our Capricorns are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? And what can Capricorn know? It says 9 of Cups reversed. This may have been a person where you started to feel that the connection was beginning to become loveless, or it was just about sex. Problem with this card is that typically in the upright, the 9 goes to the 10, which would be very good because it tells us when two people are so glued to each other or doing well emotionally that they could even see themselves becoming married. But the reversal is saying that that's not going to the 10, it's actually stalled, or it's going backwards. And what is before the 9 is walking away. So this 9 here being reversed is telling us either those feelings that love and chemistry and romance started to die at some point, or it started to get this, like, I don't know, become in such a way where potentially you may have felt that maybe this is just about just us being together and having sex, or the conversations were just about sex and that was it. There also could have been some disappointment as well. Tell me about this person that is being described as 9 of Cups reversed. What are they thinking about towards Capricorn? It says they're thinking about the breakup or the separation, or the disappointment there. That sucks, it didn't work out. It says also the Fool reversed, that things aren't going anywhere. It also may suggest they're holding back, or they're thinking about. The only reason this energy would be here is because there's some part of them thinking about what that looks like with you again. But the reversal is telling us right now it's stalled. Because in Fool energy, there's not much risk taking. Yes, in some cases it can talk about someone being reckless or crazy, but not here. Okay, so we can clarify that. How does this person see Capricorn? The person that's not talking with Capricorn. How do they currently see Capricorn? It says the 4 of Wands. That's very interesting energy. What does this mean for them? Wow, split the deck on the Ace of Cups. Oh, we also got a Queen there. I won't take that, but it says 4 of Wands. So this person may get the sense that you are involved with somebody else, potentially. They're speculating you are. You're focusing on your family, your kids, or somebody else. You may be happy with where you're at, right? But worst case scenario, they may get the sense that you are involved with somebody, or you have interest in somebody else. Again, if it's not that, it just could be suggesting you're focusing on family, if you have kids, or just other people, your social life, friends, people close to you. But even if that's true, it's suggesting that they see it as positive, like you are content. So life isn't really over that you're gone. In other words, or they're gone. In terms of the past, what is this person that's not talking with Capricorn, what are they thinking about in relating to the past? Oh God, we have 3 cards that come out here. I normally don't want to take all these cards, but for the sake of time, we'll take it. So we have Hangman reversed, Moon reversed, and Ace of Pentacles reversed. So this is suggesting once again about something that failed with you. But what is this Hangman about? Tell us about the Hangman reversed in their past thoughts. Show a tower here when we split. Gonna take that. Also 7 of Wands. So and it became stalled. I'm gonna take that too. We also have Devil here. I kind of want to take that, but we'll leave that. This is like almost suggesting in their past thoughts, they're reflecting on how something became suddenly stalled, but we have the Seven of Wands here, and it seems like whether to fight for the connection or not became almost like on the fence on whether to do that or not. So this is like where you have a situation between two people, it's going strong, and then something disrupts it heavily, and then it's being put into question whether it's just an opportunity flushed down the drain or whether to fight for it or not. It could also be reviewing where things went wrong. Why is this person not talking with Capricorn? So it says the King, and I just got this, but I think it was in a different deck. It was for, shit. It was either Libra or Sagittarius. I don't know. But maybe this reading could have similarities. We get the King here because they got the King as well, but I think it was with a different deck. So who knows? Maybe there's something with that. Tell us about the King of Swords and why they're not talking with Capricorn. Says Wheel of Fortune. So this person may be hoping that something is going to change, but the problem with the King is that there's typically no communication. They're open to receiving it, but not doing it. How does that relate to Capricorn, the Wheel of Fortune? So it says the Hierophant. So this person, if you see the upright of this card, two people making a commitment with each other. They're actually at the altar here, but it's showing a reversal. This person is hoping for a turnaround between the both of you, or that potentially you'll come back around. So it's actually almost saying, even though that you guys are not talking, this person's hoping you'll come around to them. Why isn't the Hierophant happening between Capricorn and this person they're not talking to? It's saying it's completely stalled. Three of Wands in the reverse. Okay. It's not even progressing. This can also talk about that both parties or one party has lost drive towards, they're not putting effort towards it anymore. Which I would assume it's Capricorn, not putting much effort towards this person. How does Capricorn see this person they're not talking to? It says Judgment. Okay, I don't know what that's saying. Tell me more about Judgment. Now Capricorn's, we also have a King here. How Capricorn sees this person. It says the High Priestess? What the fuck is that talking about? Let me see how you would feel towards them. So this is potentially saying you would see them as one thing and you start with you. Or you're speculating it with the High Priestess. That they're not, because the problem with the High Priestess is like a silence card. So it can almost suggest that you're seeing somebody that even if they're not telling you, you know what they want. Because, in other words, it's the way that they're acting, maybe. How does Capricorn feel towards this person they're not talking to if this person came around? It says you would even, wow. You could actually be open to this person that's saying. Most of the other reads have suggested the other sign wouldn't be like that, open or guarded. It's actually saying you would be open to this person. What is the biggest challenge between Capricorn and this person that they're not talking with? So we have Nine of Pentacles. What else? What else is a challenge between Capricorn and this person they're not talking with? Let's use one from the Pro Tarot. says 3 of Cups. Having fun with each other, being single and available is a challenge. Why would it say that is a challenge? It says because lovers reversed. So you guys are closed off to each other. So it's saying that in this connection that apparently making yourself... So both of these cards are synergistic with each other because one is talking about being ready and available for a relationship. It is somebody that's dressing to impress or trying to work on themselves or make themselves look good, but they're willing to talk, willing to go on dates, they're willing to explore their options. And the other is to have fun, go out to places, enjoy each other's company, focus on the positive, having fun. But when I'm asking why that's a challenge, it's saying because both of you are no longer in tune with each other. You're not love bugs anymore. Apparently you're just the opposite of that. So it's saying that could be a problem, why it's a challenge. That you guys coming together trying to do that is something that's difficult. I mean, because I suppose what it's trying to, its angle is really saying, well, how can you really have another start with this person or even something like this if you can't really enjoy each other's company anymore? All right. So my final impression here, Capricorn, is this seems to me like a little bit of a situation where I don't want to speculate actually that far. I do wonder if this was a connection that came close to marriage. I don't know if you were, but it must have been a very... You guys had a lot in common with each other. Biggest question is what tore it apart. This person's thinking about that. It seems like after this tower happened, I would assume maybe things started to become very, again, sex without love, or something corroded that love that you had for each other. This person still thinks about the negative or the separation of the pain, or it bothers them. They seem to be a bit pessimistic, unfortunately, but they are hoping that something will turn around. But their hope for something to turn around seems to be a bit of a pipe dream, because it's almost, I would imagine, that they're hoping that something radically different is going to show up or change between the both of you, and it'll just be like a fresh start and things will change. I don't really know if that is realistic to think that that would happen, but anyways, that's what I got for you, Capricorn. Good luck to you. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you did, leave a like or hype the video. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Yours truly, got Aquarius. Aquarius next. Aquarius. Aquarius. How you doing, Aqua Gang? Tell me about a person our Aquarius are not talking to. Who's this person? What can we know? What can I know? What can Aquarius know? What can we know? Says the 8 of Swords reversed. So this was a person that's suggesting that was worrying about the situation with you a lot, but it's saying they're not doing that anymore. Okay. Or I had worried a lot about you, or spent a lot of time worrying about you, but it's saying no longer. We'll see if that's suggesting something else in a minute here. Tell us about this person that's being described as 8 of Swords reversed. Person that's not talking with Aquarius. What are they thinking towards Aquarius? It says Queen of Wands reversed. They get a sense that you are not doing anything, Aquarius. It says Knight of Wands reversed as well. Low action, or they're wondering about that. What else are they thinking about towards Aquarius? This person that's not talking to Aquarius. Making it work with you. Okay. How does this person see Aquarius? The person is not talking with Aquarius. How do they see Aquarius currently? Is this the Star reversed? Why the Star reversed? So this is kind of odd because it's saying they see you as somebody that's not over something. In other words, from their standpoint, there was some type of pain or frustration or you being upset or aggravated, annoyed, or something that happened in the past. But it's almost saying that rather than heal through it, you're still bitter or you haven't healed through it. That's how they see it. So I would imagine this is a person that an Aquarius would probably give a mouthful and why this person was bad, or an Aquarius that really didn't feel that this person treated them the right way or whatever. So this person would be kind of viewing that as like, yeah, Aquarius is not over that. So they're seeing that you're either deliberately not taking action towards them or you're not even trying or you're not putting effort. But what is on their mind? This person wants to try and find a way to make it work with you or to resolve something. Temperance is bringing balance to situations, especially that are not harmonious anymore. This is describing just that, a non-harmonious situation. So the person appears to want to try and change that. What is this? The person that's not talking with Aquarius, when they think about the past, in terms of Aquarius, what are they thinking about? Person that's not talking with Aquarius, what do they think about in terms of the past when it comes to Aquarius? It says 7 of Wands. Use the crow. What was the problem with the 7 of Wands and why this person thinks about it? What is this? 3 of Pentacles in the reversed. So this is suggesting something around somebody was not fighting for the connection or no longer participating. Why was that going on? It says judgment reversed. There could have been arguing or disagreements with each other. Also, people were on a different page from each other. So this card is important because it tells us here about two people that are, in this context, Three of Pentacles is more of a business card and it talks about a lot of other things. But in relationships, this particular version actually shows more of a relationship standpoint with the Three of Pentacles. And you can kind of see how both these birds are participating in the same thing and helping each other. I'll stay home and stock the food, and you go and get that food. All right? They're both working with each other, but this is saying that wasn't going on. In other words, what would have actually been going on? One's stocking the food and one's going to the casino. I don't know. Different priorities. All right? Same things. This could have got complicated. So, no, it may not have been a worst case scenario like that, but it's just probably plain and simple, suggesting that there was disagreements about who was doing what and who was really participating and who wasn't. Tell us about the person that is not talking with Aquarius. What is the reason they're not talking with Aquarius? Why are they not talking with Aquarius? It says the world reversed. So there has been a lack of success, lack of progress, or a lack of things going to another level with you. In other words, it's just remained stuck. This can also talk about repeating cycles, repeating habits. You know, one thing that's important about the World card in Tarot is it tells us about levels where things are constantly evolving, things are constantly changing. So whenever things cross another chapter, you get that World energy telling us that you've hit it, you've done it. Things are changing, things are evolving, things are growing. But the reversal is saying that's not happening. Something is staying at the same level and it's not evolving, it's not changing. How does that happen? It can tell us that there's attitudes, beliefs, or things that are still lingering that would prevent it from going to another level. So that is a problem here. So this person kind of sees that there are still issues from the past that are lingering. The person may be interested in trying to go on a fresh start with you, Aquarius, but they're just not really sure that's possible right now. If this person came around, the person that's not talking with Aquarius, if they came around to Aquarius unexpectedly, how would Aquarius see them? It says Three of Swords reversed. So you have the Three of Swords. So you might see this person as trying to resolve the situation from the past, which would probably be an accurate statement. How would Aquarius feel towards this person they're not talking to? Says King of Pentacles. Well, you may feel this person's different, Aquarius. King of Pentacles is nice energy. What would be the challenge between Aquarius and this King of Pentacles? It goes over temperance like this. So let's see what it is. Says having a new romantic start with each other. What are the odds of that? I'm going to leave the reading at that because that was pretty epic. Here's my final impressions here. Aquarius, to me, what is this? Because this defines things a lot here. Really what this reading is saying is that this appears to be somebody from the past that you have interacted with where it was probably quite close to you or significant. But there was this disruption. Who knows what caused this to change, priorities changing, or somebody who just wasn't putting that effort in, or they were going in a different direction. Maybe they had their reasons, who knows. Whatever the case is, it seems like there was some type of disconnection. There's some perspective like an Aquarius is not over that, where they're holding a grudge, or they're holding on from the past. How would you know this? If you're that type of person that's going to basically say, give a list of reasons why you don't like this person or what they did and everything, then this is that energy right here. You're doing that very thing. All right? This person kind of, I think, is thinking around how you're behaving towards them or how you have, or energy that you've displayed, and I think they get the impression that you are not showing any interest towards them, and it probably wouldn't go anywhere. All right. They seem to have interest to want to resolve things or straighten things out. Whether it'll actually go there or not, who knows. All right. It seems like the situation has been stuck, stagnant. It hasn't grown. All right. You may get a sense that if this person came around, that you would know why they're there and that they're trying to mend whatever this is that you're holding a grudge on, or trying to fix that. Whether you do or not is another story. You may get the impression that this person is displaying a different energy that is different from the past. Whether you're going to trust it or not, again, another story for another day to look into. But this seems like it's showing there's a possibility for things to be, for chemistry to be there and for a fresh start. It's an opportunity, but again, doesn't mean you have to take it, Aquarius. Good luck to you. That's what I got. Alright, who knows? Time will tell where this goes. If you got something out of that, Aquarius, leave a like or hype the video. You know, it would help. Just saying. Almost hitting 3 hours. Pisces, you are the last sign, as always. Tell me about a person our Pisces are not talking to. Who is this person, and what can we know? We get the 8 of Pentacles. Tell us more about the 8 of Pentacles. So we have, we split the deck on the 2 of Pentacles. So I have reason to suspect already, given that I've seen a similar energy in another reading, that this is going to be about a person that is contemplating. Wow, look at this. It just came out on its own. We have 7 of Pentacles reversed and the 2 of Wands reversed. So it's actually showing polar opposites. So, in plain English, what this is saying is somebody that is looking at the potential of a new path. But which way would it go? Who knows? It could go a lot of different directions. This 8 of Pentacles is good because it can talk about somebody that's putting effort to at least think about that. All right? Are they actually in their desk contemplating a plan and everything? Not likely, all right, but it is suggesting somebody that's optimistic to look at renewed change or a different direction. This is not, though. This can talk about repeating patterns or things becoming stalled again. I find it odd that you're getting polar opposite energy, and we get both the same cards, but both reversed. Interesting. Whatever, that's weird. So it's like almost showing the potential of something fresh and renew in a different direction, and the potential of just repeating the same old cycle again, or things going around in the same, I don't know, circle it has, or going nowhere. Wonder why that would come out like that. So that's got to be a clue or something that'll be important here. Tell us about this person that's not talking with Pisces. What are they thinking about towards Pisces? So it says the Knight here, so coming towards you. Good. What else are they thinking about towards Pisces? It says death. This is probably the most positive thoughts we've seen in all the reads. It is suggesting somebody that would potentially consider a new start with you and approach you. All right, but remember, this is in their thoughts, so I would imagine this is somebody that's just contemplating it. How does this person see Pisces, the person that is not talking with Pisces, how do they see Pisces? Card shoots out, says the moon reversed. Tell us about the moon reversed. Why do they see Pisces? Well, we got Tower here. There have been 2 readings with towers that randomly came out, so I wonder if this person had some problem with you as well. We'll just put it back and take another card. Tell us about the moon reversed. Why do they see Pisces as the moon reversed? So it says the what is this? The 10 of Pentacles. It's horizontal. So this person is unsure whether you and them could be something long term. So they see you as a potential. So it's really saying they see you as it's possible. It's possible for you and them still to be something long term. But that for them to not have certainty tells me that there's still something that is not, again, not clear to them that could be a it's probably relating to something to do with this. In other words, something that's already happened that didn't go in their favor. When this person thinks about the past in terms of Pisces, the person that's not talking with Pisces, what do they think about? When this person thinks about the past in relation to Pisces, what do they think about? It says the Ace of Wands reversed. So that is quite negative because it can talk about things becoming stalled, things not going anywhere. It could also talk about a lot of energy that was dumped, that never dumped into a situation that never amounted to anything. It could also talk about a slow start or things were not really taking off. Because this can describe explosive energy. You know, if you light a match, what are we going to see? We're going to see that explosive flame, right? Well, maybe you don't. You'd see it as a dud. So it's saying that there's an issue here. Why is this person not talking with Pisces? One card comes out and goes over here, but it's 5 of Swords reversed. So it may have said that if you guys had exited on a not so good terms, it's almost implying that that is the reversal here is saying if the dust is settled and things are fine, it's better not to leave it that way. What is the challenge between Pisces and this person with the 5 of Swords? It says the 7 of Swords. Why is that? Do I want to go down that rabbit hole? Probably not. Why? What can we know about 7 of Swords? One card kind of comes out. It says the 7 of Swords again. That is 7 of... Yeah, it is 7 of Swords. Is that 5 of Swords? No, it's 7 of Swords. So we'll just state the obvious then. Maybe there's some concern, is it both sides or one side, about maybe affairs, cheating, or people that are being sneaky, not telling. Maybe there's suspicion. Maybe this person is wary to a Pisces or you are wary to them. All right? It can go either way. All right? It sounds to me like there was already some either disruption between both people around that. To what extreme it went, though, is another question. All right? But that seems to be a source of tension in this reading. So this tells me that whoever this person is may have had some problems with you, Pisces, and they're kind of seeing it as maybe it's good right now just to keep the peace. If this person was to come around to Pisces, how would Pisces see them? This person is not talking with Pisces. It says King of Swords. You would see them as King of Swords. You may still see this person as cautious, but wanting to talk. But typically the kings don't talk, but so I would assume that you're describing, or you're seeing them as kind of guarded or reserved or careful in what they're saying. The King of Swords will be careful in what they say. But here's the thing, it is also cold energy. So you may see this person, if they came around, you wouldn't be seeing them as showing a very romantic or loving energy. You would see them more just kind of playing it safe or neutral stuff. Like, how's the job? Bitch, don't ask me about my job. Like, I don't want to, ask me if you still have feelings. Like, do I have feelings for you? You want to take me out to dinner? I'm sure that's what some females are probably asking themselves. Who wants to ask about their fucking job? Alright. Could I be your accountant? No. How would Pisces feel towards this King of Swords? Also have a King of Wands here. It says the world reversed. How would Pisces feel towards this King of Wands, the person, or King of Swords, the person they're not talking to? How would Pisces feel towards this person? It says judgment reversed. So you wouldn't really be sure about it. You start Pisces. Well, that's, Can you just let the dog out here real quick? Come on, out. Out. So you wouldn't be sure about this person is what it's saying here. Why would it say Pisces is unsure about this person? What is the challenge? What would be the challenge? Also have Two of Cups here. What would be the challenge? Okay, we're just not getting anything from that deck. Let's use the Dark Wood. I haven't really used it at all today. What would be the well, we have World here. Suddenly see there's World reversed here. What would be the challenge between Pisces and this person with the World reversed and the Judgment reversed? Pisces feelings. I don't know why I can't get anything. Maybe there is no challenge. Okay, one card comes out. So you got a whopper of a card. It says the Ace of Pentacles. So actually just getting it started is the challenge. Why is this starting it so hard from Pisces standpoint? Wow, you get the fucking Lovers. What about from this person's standpoint? Why is it hard getting it started with the Ace of Pentacles towards Pisces? Says the Empress. So you're the challenge, I would assume. To them, from your side, is the passion, the connection. To try and get it started. Interesting. Here's my final impression for this reading, Pisces. Alright. This reading has a little bit more than the others. I would say a lot of speculation as to what is actually what. Alright. This was kind of interesting, what it was saying in the beginning between the potential, again, working on a new start or looking at how you guys could come together again. But the question is, where would it go? All right. And how much effort would it be to make that happen? Is it simple and straightforward? Hey, you want to go out to drinks and yada yada, and it just goes from there? Or is it going to be more complicated than that? Clearly, this person is thinking, who knows? It may be a more sticky or complicated situation to make it work. But there's also this possibility of things falling back to how it used to be or whatever existing problems there was that caused things to not work out between the both of you. All right? Because Seven of Pentacles reverse can tell us about that repeating pattern of some issue or set of issues or the way somebody acts or is repeating again. In other words, they haven't changed or won't refuse to change or won't let something change. All right? This person seems to have some desire to come again towards you, all right, and potentially look at a new chapter between the both of you, or even just see how it goes, all right? I don't want to say a whole future, because who knows what their true intentions are, but it's leaning towards that, all right? So there's still some interest there. This person does reflect on how it, like, things didn't go anywhere, or there was a deflation of energy, or energy spent that didn't amount to much. In other words, it could have been stalled, or it wasn't the right time. I don't really know. It says they focus on that a lot. This person does also question whether there's a future with you. All right. There seems to be some issue around the Seven of Swords as a potential challenge or problem, suggesting, because Seven of Swords can talk about people that are withholding things, being crafty, stealthy, or giving that impression that they do that, or they go off and don't tell you what they're doing, or they make it very hard for you to know what's what. Maybe there was affairs where they give you the impression of that. Is that a concern of one person or both people accusing each other of doing other things? Who knows? All right, but it may have suggested to us that that could have caused a little bit of tension between the both of you, or it could have caused some strain on things at some point in the past. All right. I think in some ways it's almost borderline suggesting that there's a potential between the both of you, but one would say that it's a Pisces that probably is questioning whether this lover's energy is even going to be a thing. All right. This is also, from their side, saying the Empress, suggesting that maybe how they perceive you, because the Empress is somebody that's ready and open, and she's even pregnant there. So this is kind of like a duo kind of thing. I mean, don't you think that's kind of interesting how that came out in the bedroom, and then someone's pregnant? To say. So who knows what the universe has in plan for this situation. All right. The only energy or king that showed up was this king here, so maybe this person could have some degree of air sign energy. You may perceive them as a little cold, or sometimes you wonder, like maybe they don't display their emotions very well. All right. I don't know what other energy. This person doesn't really strongly associate with other energy. Maybe there's a little bit of water energy. There's no real dominant energy that I can see. Other than just the air energy. But anyways, that's what I got for you, Pisces. Good luck to you, alright? Could be a bit of fire energy there too. Alright. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, please leave a like or hype the video. Would be nice. Alright, I will see you in the next one. I'll be doing Spy on Them as my next video. Hope you got something out of this. Yeah, that's it. Alright, bye everybody.